Hey everybody, how's it going? Dan Shinder here on Drum Talk TV, celebrating, can't believe I'm saying this, celebrating 55 years of Led Zeppelin I, that first debut album. Probably one of the most outstanding and notable debut albums ever. I know there's been so many, but this came out when there was nothing like it. Just so different and coming out with such a powerful song. So I'll give shout outs and look at comments, but first tell me where you're watching from. And did anyone watching this see the first Led Zeppelin tour, whether it was early gigs in the UK or when they first finally came out to the US? I actually know a few people that saw them back then. I saw them in 1977. And this album coming out was life-changing because it really pushed me over the edge of wanting to play drums 54 years ago. I was almost 7 years old. And I had a cousin 7 years older than me that played. But when I heard this and he put it on, that first song, Good Times, Bad Times, just blew me away. And I didn't even know, well, for the most part, I didn't even know how the drums really worked. Like that whole bass drum thing, it just knocked me out, even not being a drummer yet. And I'm actually going to play that song. It's in the notes. I'm going to play that song from the Drum Talk TV 10-year anniversary show of me playing with my old band from the late 70s into 1981 with a guest singer, Chaz West. This was back in May of 2023 at the Drum Talk TV 10-year anniversary show, and I think we did pretty good. So I'll play that as a celebration. But first, where you're watching from, where does this album rank for you for debut albums, for rock albums, for Led Zeppelin albums? Break it down for me. Let's have a conversation. For me, it's not my favorite Led Zeppelin album, but Good Times, Bad Times is absolutely one of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs and one of my favorite rock songs. The only reason it's not my favorite Led Zeppelin album is because as their music progressed and the production progressed, I tended to gravitate towards more stuff as their career progressed. Hope that makes sense. There's no right or wrong, and you don't have to like it at all either, by the way. So let's see, is anybody watching? Yeah, there's actually one person watching. It's probably, or there's five. My 3 dogs and 2 cats. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, tell me where you're watching from, and if you like this album. I'm going to run through the songs. Good Times, Bad Times, of course. Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. You Shook Me. Dazed and Confused, which became a jamming extravaganza for years and years and years. Your Time Is Gonna Come, with some really neat group vocals on there. Black Mountain Side, Communication Breakdown. It's just cut like a hacksaw through everything. I Can't Quit You, Baby, which the best version of that is the sound check that's on the album Coda, with some more amazing flutter foot bass drum work by John Bonham at a much slower tempo, of course, than Good Times, Bad Times. Great song. And How Many More Times. Just a great album produced by Jimmy Page. Really neat album cover that you can see up there on the player. Is it there? Yeah, there it is, up there. So, yeah, I'd love to know where this album ranks for you, what your favorite song is, stuff like that. But I'm going to launch into my personal dedication to this album, playing with me and my bros at the Drum Talk TV 10-year anniversary show. Thank you, Steve. And hopefully it'll still sound good when I play this video. But dig this. I hope you enjoy this. Oh, there's no exact foot cam, but the camera that's behind me to my right, if you look down by the floor toms, you can see my foot. Just not a full foot cam shot, but you'll see a little bit. But overall, check out the whole song. It's pretty fun song to play. Dig it. Here we go.
In the days times, bad times, you know I've had my share. When a woman left home with a brown-eyed man, she don't seem to care. Just 16 and I fell in love with a girl that seems to be. It only took a couple of days till she was rid of me. Swore that she would be all mine, love me till the end. When I whispered in her ear, another friend. Good times, bad times, you know I've had my share. When a woman left home with a brown-eyed man, she don't seem to care. Oh, damn!
There you go. Fun time that show was. And by the way, the rest of that concert, which is all Led Zeppelin, by the way, except for a jam that A.D. Adams did with Jeff Berlin, a jam that I did with Jeff Berlin and Karl, that guitar player you just saw, and an all jam song at the very end, which is a surprise song. The rest of it was about almost 90 minutes of Led Zeppelin, and then a lot of other things in that documentary, but that whole thing's coming out soon. It'll debut first in our membership site. Check that out at drumtalktvbrilliance.com. But getting back to Led Zeppelin I, again, if you saw any of those early gigs in Britain, or if you saw early gigs throughout Europe and back here in North America when they ended up coming out for the first tour after the second album, I'd love for you to chime in, share your story. Let's talk a little bit more about the album. I'm going to give some basic info. It was released January 12th, 1969, 55 years old, still holding up. Who would have ever thought? And the 31 of March in the UK. So not long after came out in the UK. And the album was recorded in September to October of 1968 at Olympic Studios in London, shortly after the band's formation. It includes some original material as well as a couple covers. Just a tremendous album. And I'm trying to think, when I saw them in 1977, you know what? I don't think they played any of those songs. But they sure did at the O2 Arena back in, what was that, 2007, for their, reunion with Jason on drums, which I thought was spectacular. My wife and I went and saw that broadcast on the big screen at theaters, the live simulcast. That was just incredible. But yeah, they didn't play any of these. I'm just double checking. Yeah, none of them in 1977. And that's okay. I mean, they had a huge body of work by then, but this album for me is my favorite debut album of every band that I like and every debut album that I'm aware of. And again, there's been some really, really good ones by great bands. Queen, Jethro Tull, Yes, Genesis, ELP. Oh, great album. ELP, that debut album, is the favorite by many. And a lot of contemporary bands as well. Haken, um, Arc of Life, just so many great debut albums. But this one was like, what the F word is going on there? Is what most people said when it first came out, when it came out. So yeah, that's that. I'd love for people to chime in, even if you're watching on the archive. If you're watching live, why so shy? I wonder. But this album really did it for me, wanting to play the drums. But yet, even though I was pretty good by the time I was 14 and playing in the school band, concert band, orchestra, Tuesday night jazz band, it still had never occurred to me to take the musician path for a career until I saw Led Zeppelin live in 1977. And I thought, wait a minute. By the third song, I thought, wait a minute, that could be like a job. So up until then, I wanted to be the next Jacques Cousteau, an oceanographer. And after seeing them and got my hearing back a couple days later, I got my parents, sat them down and said, I don't want to be a scientist anymore. And my mom enthusiastically said, oh, what do you want to be? And I said, I want to be a professional drummer like John Bonham. Well, after we hit her with the paddles a couple times and revived her, she was a little disappointed, thought I was going to grow up and be a scientist, an oceanographer, or doctor, or whatever. But to her credit, exactly 1 year later, at 15 years old, she found an audition for what became my first paid gig, which ended up being a 6-week tour around the United States, opening for bands like Heart, Styx, Blue Oyster Cult, Seals and Crofts, the Osmonds. This is back in 1978. I was 15. So thanks, Mom. Yeah. So what impact did this album have on you? Did it inspire you to play an instrument or sing? Did it inspire you to write lyrics? Did it inspire you to play an instrument you already played differently? Did it inspire you to dig through other bands' catalogs at the time and take a deep dive as a musician or a music fan? I'd love to know, share your thoughts. That's about all I got on it. I wanted to play that video of us giving a tribute to that band with the song Good Times, Bad Times, which I don't want to say Drum Talk TV has been good times, bad times for us as a business, but it's been good times and other times. There's been no bad times, but there's been some challenging times and some good times and some even much better times, which we're going through now. And we want you to be part of it. So thank you so much for following what we do. Really appreciate it. That's my little tribute to 55 years of Led Zeppelin, or Led Zeppelin I, their first album, as it's referred to, 1969, January 12th, its debut in America, March 31st in the United Kingdom, and just, it's still rocking our world, right? All right. Hope you are too. Thanks so much. And remember to just follow us on all your favorite channels and watch for what's coming. We've got some great stuff on the horizon, a ton of new interviews on Drum Talk TV and my other show I do with producer Steven Shinder, Yes Shift. So watch for that, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody.